I do what I want, but personal choice often goes unrecognized. Women cannot want because they exist to keep everyone happy. I do not matter unless I wear a white dress and take his last name. I must learn to cook and clean and do laundry because my husband needs a warm meal and clean clothes, and I need nothing. Women cannot need because they exist to keep others happy. I am a woman. I have my own needs and wants independently. I will get married because I'm in love with him, not because he asked. I will learn to cook because I too get hungry and I love to eat. I will clean because clutter makes me uncomfortable. I will do laundry because clothes express my personality. We are women. We deserve the right to be happy for nobody's benefit but our own.
Why does my body, which adheres so closely to the confines of femininity, belong to a man? Not just a man, mind you, but all men. Why does the body which I have ultimately enabled the survival of not belong to me? Who has put more effort into this body than I have? No one. Therefore, no one but me should have the right to touch it. And still the world has yet to comprehend this simple rule. That rule that states that if I don't possess anything else on this earth, let my own body be of my own possession. Let me be the sole decider of what is done to it, and let no one else have any say in the matter whatsoever. Consent seems so simple. A yes or no. But what if the question is never asked? What if I've grown to feel as though my body is not my own? What if I've been raised under the notion that whoever wants may take? Does my internalization of the world in which I have spent nearly 19 years surviving not warrant my hesitation to claim my body as my own? How may I pretend to own something which was never mine?
I once heard a police officer tell a woman that she should be more careful about the kind of men she attracts. She had just filed a restraining order against her abusive ex-boyfriend. What the officer meant was that it was her fault that she was abused. She did something wrong. She was responsible for the actions of the man that brainwashed her into believing that she was worth nothing other than being an emotional receptacle for his pain. We teach women that love is about possession because we're told over and over again that we are objects existing for the pleasure or service of someone else, never for oneself. So often women believe their worth is based on how they can help someone, how to satisfy someone's needs. We're taught to be of assistance, to make ourselves useful, because our existence isn't valuable on its own. This idea is drilled into women's minds so much that they believe all they are worthy of being is a doormat for someone to wipe their feet on. We're told that all we're good for is to look pretty, be quiet, and do what we're told. If we have an opinion, we're told not to backseat drive. They turn up the volume and our voices are drowned out by the noise. We are unwilling passengers trapped on the highway of oppression. A famous rapper dies of a heroin overdose and his ex-girlfriend gets blamed for his death. Fans claiming that he commits suicide because she left him for someone else. But was she supposed to stay with him just to help him sort through his pain? Why is she responsible for conquering his demons? A Supreme Court Justice nominee gets accused of sexual assault, and he still gets nominated. They say it's unfair to him because there's no substantial evidence. But is her trauma not evidence of the damage he caused? It was a long time ago, they said. He's not that person anymore. But this begs the question, why is his reputation worth more than her pain? But despite all of that, I don't blame the officer. or the fans, or even the Supreme Court Justice nominee. I blame the idea that women are responsible for the actions of others, but are not granted the freedom to exist for themselves. We are given responsibility, but not autonomy. And make no mistake, there can be no freedom when you are bound to hold the grief of the world. Like tires, women are the ones that tread the rough roads and carry us from place to place. But after a couple 100,000 miles, tires start to take a beating. They are run so thin that their usefulness has expired, and they are discarded into a landfill without a single thought of the consequences. In a world ruled by the patriarchy, women are as easily discarded as those old beat-up tires. They are merely objects whose existence is to serve whatever purpose you desire. But I did not ask for these labor pains. And now I am issuing myself the license to my own identity. Tires are for cars, but I am not a tire. I am my own vehicle. There are no free rides.
I am a woman whose every assertion is said under the guise of perpetual question. So when I say, I am a woman, it comes out sounding like, I am a woman? Yet I have never been unsure of my identity, so what is it about my femininity that makes you ponder my ability? Perhaps it's the softness of my voice. A man once compared it to velvet, and when I told him the stuff made my skin crawl, he seemed not to hear. So I spoke a little louder, only to be asked why I was so angry. I wasn't at the time. I didn't even know to be. But the question now remains, why am I so angry? To which I reply, why shouldn't I be? Why is it when I walk into a room, my presence isn't immediately respected, but appraised? A sort of, what does she have that she can offer me? Though short of an assertive comment or a roll of the eyes, I have nothing for you. I am here for myself. Yet still you wonder, how could this be? Because as a woman, I'm not taught to have a self. Instead, I'm taught to cater my appearance to wandering eyes, to look, to smile when looked at, as if some favor's being done. I'm taught to listen intently to the words you so ignorantly spew, as if your voice and your voice alone is the validation to my being. I'm taught to care, mostly because you won't and someone has to. And worst of all, I'm taught to be your idea of who I am, the pretty little sweet thing, who acts, does, and is anything but herself. So now, angrily, I say, I am a woman, and who are you?